Hi, Lynden here. Just a quick one before the podcast starts. We recorded this earlier in the week before we learnt of the tragic passing of Billy Viger. Jack, myself, and all of Burgess Hill Town Football Club would like to express our deepest sympathies and condolences to Billy's family, along with his friends, colleagues at Chichester Football Club, and in all the clubs he's played. No one should be in danger whilst playing the game that they love, and there's a petition in the description of this podcast and we'll share on social media for the immediate review of the surrounds of football pitches. Please sign and share with your friends.
Good evening and welcome to episode 11 of Hillian's Talk, brought to you live from my living room rather than the glorious sights of the Medical Travel Compared Stadium. But we'll mix it up, a bit more casual, a bit more relaxed. I've lured Jack here with a promise of beer.
Yes, a nice relaxed podcast.
Yeah, sitting here in the ambiance of my living room.
Yeah, with beer.
Yeah, I think we needed a chilled environment to discuss the topics on this podcast.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Some zen.
Yes.
But yes, welcome. Jack's here.
Yeah, I am here. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me into your humble abode.
Most welcome. Sorry for the dog attacking you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. There's worse things that attack me. So,
where would you like to start? It's not been that long for a change since we've done the last podcast.
No,
We managed to
consistency.
get our arse in gear and record relatively close together.
Yeah, well, I mean, since we did last do it, we've seen two. Well, I've seen two home games. You've seen a home game.
I've seen a home game,
but we have had officially two home games for the men's team. Unfortunately, results haven't gone quite our way in those two games. Yeah, I suppose we'll talk about those really. Start with Folkestone.
Yeah,
I mean, I appreciate you weren't there, so you're, in-depth tactical.
Talk to me about Folkestone, Jack.
Debrief about Folkestone.
What happened to Folkestone?
Yeah, Folkestone. I mean, Folkestone was certainly an easier result to take than Tuesday night's result was, purely because Folkestone were a very good side. I thought Folkestone would be a very good side. They were a very good side. Honestly, in the first half, I thought it could be quite an embarrassing return in terms of the scoreline, just how good they were. They went 2-0 up early, and they were really in control, and they sort of looked like they could make it sort of 3 or 4 before half time, and really, sort of make it a bit of an unwelcome return. But I mean, Chris Whelpdale, we'll certainly touch on him.
What a strike!
My goodness, that is just a typical cliche in football. You just need a moment to change a game, a player, a strike, a goal, whatever it is, and he just out of nowhere just picks the ball up 25 yards out and just spins and hits it. He does that without even looking. It's like he knows where the top corner is. Like,
wangs it right in the goal.
It's not as if he's been dribbling and he just back to goal, spins, shoots, top corner.
Yeah.
So I mean, from there, from sort of 35, 40 minutes onwards, it just changed the game completely. It sort of deflated Folkestone. It really revved us up. At the back end of the first half, they were hanging on a bit, which was pretty funny, really, considering they'd been on top most of the first half. But they were. There's a big shout for a penalty that wasn't given. I have seen it back, and it's less of a penalty than I thought it was at the time, purely because it's a very short distance between the player and it was handball, and it hit his arm, without a question. His arm was out, so there's no debating that. But looking at it back, it was a lot closer than I thought when I was watching it live. So I can see why it wasn't given if that was the reason. If their reason was it didn't hit his arm, then that is ridiculous, because it definitely did.
I mean, yeah, when I watched it on the highlight, no, it wasn't on the highlights, wasn't it? That one. Sorry, apologies.
It's fine.
But
when you saw it back,
when I saw it back using it on the huddle camera,
yeah.
Which is the coach's camera for those who don't know, I could see why there was a strong shout, but being a ref, I'm trying to keep that quiet. I can also see why it probably wasn't given.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw, because I was very keen to see it back, because it must be a penalty at the time, and everyone around us was. Looking at it back, I can see why it wasn't given now. So I'm less annoyed about that decision than I was at the time.
But all that being said, penalty for sure. Terrible reffing.
Yeah, I mean, you've certainly at this level seen them given. Especially in football nowadays, you see an arm out, you see the ball hit it. Some penalties get given for handball, which are a lot more harsher than that one would have been.
Yeah, and the handball rule is still so interpretive. I mean, it shouldn't be, but the fact of the matter, it is still. And you see some refs will give it, some refs won't. So
yeah, no, it's true.
Just didn't get it on the day.
But yeah, just in that game, first half, we ended with us totally on top. Folkestone sort of needed half time, really. We were getting a lot of control, and then second half they again took control at the start, had quite a few attacks, quite a few shots, looking quite dangerous. But I mean, just the goal just gave us a bit of hope. So if you just hang in there at 2-1, you're always going to get, you know, a sort of spell in the game where you can sort of create more chances, and we did. Again, it was sort of made through Chris Welpdale. You can always rely on Chris Welpdale. He obviously scored the first goal, made the second one. You just need, again, moments in the game. Folkestone were on top second half, and we just sort of hung in there for a little bit, first 10, 15 minutes, and then you're always going to get a spell where you're going to create more chances, and we did. Box you with the equaliser, and with sort of 25 minutes, whatever it was, left, 2-2, we suddenly had all the momentum. Folkestone probably couldn't believe they were drawing the game. And at that point, we like I say, we had all the momentum, we had all the sort of you know, chances and all the sort of forward play, and you sort of half thinking we could maybe go on and nick this 3-2 and make it, you know, a fairy tale return home and from 2-0 down, all that sort of thing. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. It was 3-2. Sadly, not to Burgess Hill. Just the manner of the goal that we conceded the third goal is quite frustrating.
Very.
Just it was such a sloppy goal. We lose it on the halfway line, and then their danger man, which is their danger man, just sort of had the freedom of the left hand side to basically run in a straight line and then basically pass the ball past a helpless Alfie Mansell.
He sort of was allowed the shortest route to the goal possible,
Yeah,
which really shouldn't be the case.
I mean, I totally appreciate we're sort of looking back on this in hindsight, which is always, you know, the easiest way to look at it. But you would like to think just somebody would take one for the team there and just bring him down. I know it's very cynical of me to say that,
or
but
at least get near him.
just put some sort of challenge in.
Yeah.
Obviously try and go for the ball and stop him. But when their danger man is running at you with 15 minutes left, when we're sort of, you know, short at the back because it's an unexpected chance, you just sort of need one of your defenders to just take one for the
Step in
team,
there,
or
and
just
make
take
a
everything
decision.
out. Try and get the ball, but if you know, what worse comes to worse, you take a yellow. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and then they sort of held on for the win, and sort of spoiled the welcoming party that I mean, apart from the game, went very, very well, to be honest. Everything around the ground, apart from a small glitch with the crossbar. I don't know if you were aware of this. A small glitch with the goal and the crossbar.
No, I know. Obviously, Welps broke the net.
Yeah, Welps did break the net
with his
and
traction engine of a left foot.
Absolutely.
I just butchered that Partridge quote. Is it traction engine?
foot like a traction engine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't butcher it.
No,
See,
you're
Johnny,
right.
if you're listening, I do listen.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, but that same goal, there was a bit of question marks about the game beforehand because apparently the goal wasn't the correct size. It was like 3 or 4 inches too small, or too high, or something. And they were actively, Ryan Box and his team were actively working on like doing something to the goal to get it up to the correct standard. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
No, I didn't know.
But
That.
there was genuinely like the ref, and I think the Folkestone coaching team were pretty adamant that they weren't going to play unless the goal was illegal. I mean, I can understand it, obviously.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
so there was a few stewards running around at about 2:30, really looking panicked, trying to fix.
What was it? Was it just not in the ground far enough?
Something like that. Yeah, it wasn't the correct size. Basically, it was too small or too high. I can't remember which one it was, but they were frantically working on it up until sort of 2:50, really. And then the ref sort of did a final inspection, and all was well. But
how did the ref like? Cause, sorry, I've never once seen as part of his pre-pitch inspections whack out a tape measure and start like. So
it's a great question. I don't know if the ref noticed it. I don't know if the Folkestone team or keeper, because it was at the far end, so that was when they were warming up. I don't know if the keeper maybe noticed it was slightly different. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I just know that there was a slight glitch, I suppose, with the goal and the crossbar at the far end, and it wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
It was maybe it wasn't in right, like you say. Maybe it's as simple as that. But
yeah, because we're very fortunate. A lot of 3G pitches obviously have the goals that wheel on and wheel out, which we do have access to. But our actual main first team goal, full size goals, actually go into the pitch, which I know seems like a really silly thing, but I think that looks really smart.
Exactly,
and
it's small details. You see.
Yeah, exactly, small details. So yeah. Oh no, how strange! I didn't know that.
But yeah, so there was a few people like the stewards and stuff were a little bit worried that if we couldn't get it sorted, then the ref might have had to make a very
what an awful way for a game to be called off.
But luckily
Your goal's
that didn't
too
happen.
big.
Yeah, I mean everything around the ground, you know, the facilities and the openings and stuff went, you know, pretty smoothly. There was no major delays or, you know, any hurdles.
So there was a ribbon cutting. Didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, there was a big ribbon cutting. I mean, there was a few sort of technical glitches, but we'll put it down to, you know, the first time.
Oh, there's always going to be teething issues.
The sort of tannoys were a little bit sort of in and out, just in terms of whoever had the microphone was sort of cutting in and out when they were speaking.
Okay.
And the queues were perhaps slightly longer than we'd like, but again, that's not a criticism.
I think I heard that the Wi-Fi might have went down for a bit.
Possibly.
And obviously, we use the Wi-Fi for our card machines, for the new QR system, for scanning. So for season
I think it was
tickets,
just small teething problems, which just down to because obviously think about it, we normally get this out of the way in pre-season.
Yeah,
when we host a couple of pre-season games,
we iron that stuff out, but we haven't had that.
Unfortunately,
luxury,
we're straight into big crowd of 650 odd, all coming at the same time.
700, wasn't it, for Folkestone?
I think it was 650.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I had 700 in my head.
Honestly, I thought it was more than 650. When I was there, I was guessing more like 750.
Already, it's been well attended. Like
Yeah.
I know, obviously, we haven't quite come on to Tuesday yet, but Tuesday night for an evening game, you're expecting.
That was one of the best attended Tuesday night games I can remember.
Yeah, 100%. Like you like. Normally, Tuesday cold, like it wasn't exactly warm either. So cold Tuesday night, like you 250, 300 if you're lucky.
That's the sort of norm. The high 200s, sort of low 300s.
Certainly what we used to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was expecting perhaps a little bit of a boost just because you're still brand new and stuff. But over 500 is, very good.
Yeah,
very
awesome.
good. So yeah, I mean, everything for Saturday's perspective was obviously frustrating not to come away with anything, especially as, we'd fought back from 2-0 down. You're sort of it'd have been a great point. Folks in the second in the league early on, so they're certainly a strong side. You just thought if we could just hold on for a draw at the minimum, it would have been a fantastic result. Unfortunately not, but they probably were the better side, so you can't really have too many sort of gripes or moans with the result, really.
Yeah, and I think Gary was pretty honest in his assessment in his post-match interview. He understood that there's maybe some problems at the back that need looking at. Why we score so many goals and so many good goals, but still can't close out games. I think. Yeah, I think if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's on Lyndens TV. I think it was a really good assessment, and obviously
it was very honest.
It was done a day later as well, just because of some scheduling issues. So his post match was actually done on the Sunday, and I think obviously you had some time to sit.
Yeah, so it wasn't
sit back and think about it. Yeah. Which I always preferred. Like, I mean, logistically, that's not going to be possible to do that for every post match. It will actually be post match, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I actually think like he had some time to think about it, and he gave some really good, honest, and open answers to the questions.
And that's from obviously we're involved in the club, but apart from that, we're fans, and that's what I want to hear from officials and managers of my football club. I want them to be honest. I want if we were slightly off it, I want them to say. I want them to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, he was very gracious in saying, what, they probably did deserve the win, Folkestone, which was similar to what we were saying. So fair enough, really. So that was Saturday. So that was obviously disappointing, but there was still a lot of positives. It was still a good day. It was just one of those games where we took a really good team to the last quarter of the game and just come up short, which again is a positive in itself with the position we're in.
Yep.
It sort of set us up for Tuesday night, home against Carshalton. Carshalton, an extremely established club at Isthmian Prem level. They've been there for loads and loads of years. They might have even come up with us. I think we were playing them in the Isthmian South, and then I think they might have come up with us into the Isthmian Prem. So we seem like to have played Carshalton a hell of a lot. But they've been in the Isthmian Prem for a good while now. They haven't started the season particularly strong. They were sort of in and around us in the table. So just looking off, stats and a very early table, we're going into the game thinking that this is a great chance to get a sort of bounce back win, just to get that first win on the board since the first week of the season. Obviously in front of the fans as well. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan, did it?
No, it didn't, and I was actually there, so I can give my thoughts on this. Here we go. We started the game. I mean, I feel like I really don't want to get bored of saying this, but we started the game so well, and we played so well for genuinely 60, 70 minutes, maybe more. And we just couldn't close the game out. And they score, like, for those who don't know, haven't seen, we lost 4-2. We were 2-1 up. 2-1 up.
Yeah.
Sorry. With probably... It was only happened last 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, 9-10 minutes to go.
Yeah. Looked in control. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes of madness.
Yep.
Where we conceded 3 goals and lost 4-2. That's right, isn't it? That's
yeah,
maths.
That is right. That
maths works out.
That is exactly spot on. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah, and I honestly, I was watching it. I was actually, where I was from my position on the pitch, I was actually sitting in front of Tom Klingo. So I was watching it with Tom, and we couldn't believe what we were seeing. it was so frustrating.
Yeah,
We
so
just-
frustrating.
Our defence turned into smoke. We let them walk through us. We conceded again from set piece.
Little edit. We didn't concede from a set piece. I don't know why I said that. Apologies.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
No.
I'm so like I had a terrible night Tuesday. All things considered, not just the football, other stuff as well. It was awful. So yeah.
It was the cherry on top of your Tuesday evening, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And yeah, it was just not great really. And poor old Alfie Mansell, he stepped in, doing an absolute solid.
Yeah.
It in all respects had a great game.
Yeah,
made some great
again,
saves.
wasn't to blame for anything that happened,
No,
I don't think.
No, he
particularly.
made some great saves. Probably kept us in the game from some of the saves he made. I thought he grew into the game because it's fair to say he's not experienced at this level. He's not played many games. Well, for us, and I'm not sure where he's actually playing at the moment.
No, I mean, this is really his opening to men's football.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. So he's doing us an absolute solid, filling in for Rocco, who's going to be out for a bit. I think I've seen him play a few times now, both covering for us, and yeah, I think he had a pretty solid game, all things considered, and I feel for him that the result's not gone his way.
Yeah.
Or, well, our way in general, but I think it was the 4 or 5 players in front of him that we might need to be asking questions of.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I totally agree with everything you said there about Alfie, to be honest, because I know that, perhaps people that might not have been there and, they see that we've got a new keeper temporarily while Rocco's injured, they might jump to the conclusion that's the reason why. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure, having a different keeper to your normal one for a team isn't ideal at all. But I honestly, I think Alfie's getting hang out to dry a little bit by everyone. The sort of the 10 players in front of him. I just, if I was Alfie, I'd be as angry as anybody else. Honestly, I think the 10 players in front of him, second half Tuesday specifically, this isn't a everyday thing, but they really let Alfie down. I think Tuesday, honestly, there was no. I mean, I watched the highlights back because obviously I watched the game down the goal that we're shooting, so sometimes everything's not as clear when I'm watching it on the other end. And the first 3 goals were just crosses into the box. There wasn't a single man flying out to stop the cross. There wasn't a desire to close him down. There wasn't a desire to win the first ball with a header. It's just
We invited so much pressure.
It's basics that we got wrong. Let's have it right. It's basics. And I mean, this with all due respect to Carshalton, who in the end I would probably say would deserve the win because second half performance was really good. They were bang up for it. They brought a tremendous away following
their fans were great.
A midweek as well.
Can't imagine any of them listen to this, but if you are,
no,
great travelling.
Yeah,
fans,
yeah,
really
I'm
good.
sure. Yeah, shout out to the 1 or 2 that will listen to this probably if we share it online. But just like they again, and we've said this so many times before, we weren't beaten by a team that played us off the park. We've again lost to ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Fundamentally.
Yeah.
We've lost us to ourselves again.
We spoke about this on the podcast. It might have been in Tom's episode or the one we recorded on the same day that we talk about getting the basics right. If you get the basics right, you're going to win a lot of football games. But conversely, obviously, if you don't get the basics right, you're going to lose a lot of football games. And we
especially at this level.
Yeah. And the amount of time and space we allowed them within the edge of our penalty area and the 10 yards preceding it, like it was criminal.
Yeah.
Especially to deliver the balls that they did.
I mean,
you can't gamble on them putting in a shit ball. Sorry, excuse me. You can't gamble on that. And if you let them do it enough times, one of them's going to pay off. And in fact, 3 of them did.
Yeah.
So
just the second. I mean, and again, this is another point that we've harped on about on the podcast before, right? And let's also face it, me and you have been very, very honest in terms of keeping our expectations very high. I've always said we don't see ourselves getting dragged into anything towards the end of the season. We, have played very well in pretty much every game, apart from the second half at Lewis.
And I still stand by that. I still believe
again,
that. These results haven't changed that for me.
No, I still stand by it, absolutely. But we've been very fair and very honest, I think, in terms of, keeping positive and, saying that we've played very well, which we have. But yesterday was an absolute shambles, second half. Absolute shambles.
Yeah, and that's not to, and probably like on that note, it's probably important to point out that we're not like that is difficult for us to say as fans of the club and as fans generally of all the players and the management because we do get on with them on a personal and social level. Like they're all decent blokes. They're all decent people. So it's very difficult for us to say that we think they play badly. Like, but we've got to be honest and like as fans and react the way that I think any fans would. And it is disappointing that we seem to be running into this pattern of not being able to close out games.
Yeah,
and the players seem to not. Well, they're not seeing the game through, not getting the basics right.
Yeah, exactly, not getting the basics right. And let's have it right as well. I think, probably one or two players might listen to this, maybe the managers as well, but whoever does, I think, no one's certainly calling anybody, bad or not good enough. I honestly don't believe it's a skill issue or an ability issue. And this is just centred around the second half last night. I just don't think that the sort of effort and desire was 100% there, and I don't very often question that at all. But the reason I do question that last night was because, like I keep going on about, the way that we conceded the goals, there was nobody, flying to block the cross. Then when the cross come in, did we win the first header? No. Did we really want to go and, put your body on the line? Yeah. No. Second ball, did we want to close it down? No. It's like, look, that's the facts. That's what happened. You can watch the highlights and make your own judgment. But we allowed crosses into the box by being pretty soft, by just, ambling over and turning our back. And then we don't win the first header, so we don't really go out and challenge. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. So
yeah, if you give them enough chances, they're going to take them.
Exactly. Right. And as I said, Carshalton were bang up for it second half. They've got a fantastic manager. They,
really nice guy.
Very nice guy. He's been around Carshalton forever, player manager, and now I think just managing. A bit of a local legend in sort of South London, Carshalton way. But it was very clear to see who wanted that win second half. Yeah. We come out, and this is another point I want to get on, because I can't understand it for the life of me, and I'm utterly convinced without even asking Jay or Gary, this isn't what they tell them at half time. But why we decided to come out and basically camp on our 6-yard box for 45 minutes, just like protecting the 2-1 as if we're going to say, right, that's it, we're going to shut up shop now. I can promise you that's not what Jay and Gary were telling the players.
No,
because we would have gone for to be fair, there was moments in the game where we were counter-attacking and we did have one or two chances to make it 3-1 and obviously finish the game off. But on the whole, I would say 75% of that second half was constant pressure of us being penned in with crosses and corners and probing efforts by Carshalton.
Yeah,
what is that about? Why? It never works. I can't understand. It doesn't work in the Premier League.
I wish I could tell you, Jack.
It doesn't work at this level. I mean, obviously, there's no comparison.
I don't have
here.
the answers for you.
I know, and I'm so getting frustrated.
You were so calm when you arrived as well. First thing you said when you came in was like, "I've calmed down now."
No, I have calmed down.
But fucked you up now.
No, it's just. I just can't for the life of me work it out, because it's not the first time we've done it. Chess Hunt, for example, we drew 1-1. We were fantastic. It was a slightly different game because we should have been out of sight with the amount of chances we had. And then we just decided to sit on the 1-0 and eventually got paid for it with 5 minutes to go. Averley, we were 3-1 up, drew 3-3. Yesterday, we were 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, and we've somehow conceded.
I can't.
I would have come on today and been this annoyed at a draw, by the way. If we'd drawn that game 2-2, I would have been fuming. And we've lost 4-2.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
The fourth goal, literally on the final whistle, was the kick in the gut.
Yeah,
but.
I mean, because also, and again, this is probably not going to be a major point, but you never know. Goal difference as well. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully, it'll be no issue whatsoever. But
when we finish 12,
when we finish 12, due to a +1 goal difference. Goodness me! But that's just like
things have to improve, but it's still. We now 10. How many league games are we into the season? 8 games. 8 league games into the season. It's still early doors. Like it's not even halfway through the season.
Yeah,
yet, so
absolutely.
There's plenty of time to turn things around and look at the results. But I feel like we've got a run of home games coming up in a few weeks. I think we've got like 2 or 3 in a row. That's including Cup, by the way.
Yeah, sort of October's quite a busy home month.
Yeah, and then we've got something like 6 home games away back end of December going into January. So I just want that first home win. The ground deserves it. The fans deserve it. I want that first home win.
The fans incredibly deserve it. We were sort of touching on, I can't remember if it was on here live or just before when we were talking about the attendances. 650 on Saturday, over 500 for a midweek game. That's over 1,100 fans turned up for the first 2 games, and they've seen us concede 7 goals.
Yeah,
that is
from winning positions.
That is not good enough. It doesn't matter who you're playing or what level of football. So things have to improve and improve quite quickly, because and like we keep saying, nobody's getting ahead of themselves. Nobody's, saying this is it. It's, nobody's overreacting. I know it might sound like I overreact quite a lot, and I do, but
no, just passionate, mate.
I'm not overreacting, but I've also seen this club in this league before. I've also seen this club in this league struggle before. So I've got a good idea about what a damning defeat is at the start of a potentially dodgy run could look like. And let's face it, this is now 6 league games without a win, and we've played 8 games. So we haven't got a win since our second game, and that was the Tuesday night at Crow Valley.
That can't continue.
This is the start of a potentially slippery slope, right? Our next game in the league is Dartford away. That's a very tough trip. Dartford haven't started well. They're in and around us in the league. Let's face it, but I think they're in a false position. I think they've just had a tough adjustment.
They are a better side than their results show them to be.
Lost the playoff final last season and clearly just haven't quite bounced back from it. But again, that's another tough trip. And my thought process also is why I'm quite annoyed. Not just the performance and everything. I think that just the overall of yesterday, by the way, as well. I think the managers got the substitutes wrong in hindsight. And again, I know it's very, very easy for me as a fan to come on here and say, in hindsight that the managers got it wrong. But I think the subs had a negative impact. I think George Vorster, as soon as we brought him off for Reggie, everyone loves Reggie. Reggie's fantastic.
Yeah, love him. But George was so good in that game.
Yeah, it was more that George come off, and of course he might have had a knock. He might have wanted to come off. We don't know that. So if he did, then fair play.
I'm always tentative to criticise. Well, criticise is not the wrong word because I'd never do that. But I'm always tentative to sort of question or managers' decisions because at the end of the day, they know what they're doing and I don't. I'm just a fan. They're literally paid to do that job. Yeah. So it is hard, but it just from a fan's perspective, I think let's put it this way. From a fan's perspective, it seemed strange. Like George was, you could make an argument for one of our best players on the pitch.
For sure, and it just seemed like the shift happened straight as soon as George went off because we lost that attacking out. We lost the pace on the counter attack. Chris Weltdale is by far and away our strongest player this season, but
100%.
He's not gifted with pace. He's towards the end of his career. He might have had pace 10 years ago. But that's not what he's in the team for. He's not in the team to run in behind.
No, he's in the team to score 40-yard screens.
Exactly. So when
and break nets.
So when you're counter-attacking and poor Chris Weltdale is trying to do it on his own, and you haven't got the Martin or the George who's got the raw pace just to...
Yeah, Martin came off earlier than I thought he would.
Yeah, I just think, look, the substitutes were,
He wasn't happy.
Yeah, it was, not substitutes I would have made, but did they really make a difference? Well, you never know. Should the substitutes done a bit better? Probably.
And I'm sure, and to be honest, Gary and Jay, if you're listening, I'm sure you have perfectly good reasons, and they probably make absolute sense. So we're not saying obviously, but
it's always very easy to criticise.
But it's just from a fan's perspective,
just observations. But the other point I was going to come on about as to why I think it could be, a potentially damning defeat. Not just it's just a league game. It's just 3 points, but we don't have many league games coming up in the next few weeks because we're without a game Saturday. Due to us not progressing in the FA Cup, other teams in the league do have games, most of them. So that's just a game for them to play extra, and we potentially could drop down the league just as a result of we're not playing.
Because people are going to have games.
Then obviously Tuesday we've got Dartford. We've discussed that's a very difficult game. I'm sure we'll bounce back. I'm sure we'll go into that game and play very well. But Dartford are a very good side, so we're going to have to play very, very well. Then following that is an FA Trophy game, and then following that's a Sussex Senior Cup game.
Yeah, Cup week we will dub it as because they're the same week, aren't they? Exactly. Tuesday, Saturday, or within a week.
Yeah. So my point is that 2 of our next 3 aren't league games. So and teams are going to play more games around us, and they'll inevitably overtake us just because they've played more games, and suddenly. We'll get back to it in mid-October when we've back in proper consecutive league action, and we'll have dropped a few places inevitably, and suddenly you've got a little bit of table pressure on you. Not that anybody's looking at the table in October and going, hang on a minute, but you do. Everyone does it. The players do it. I'm sure the coaches are fully aware of what the table's looking like, and as soon as you have to scroll to find Burgess Hill in the table, suddenly you're just a bit like, hang on a minute. You could just you just need to stay the right side of everything, and
I think we need
it just brings that pressure that you just don't need.
We just need a decent result, steady the ship, and go again.
Exactly. That's why yesterday was so disappointing because
it looked like from the and sorry, I feel like we've been a little bit negative, which we obviously don't mean to be, but taking away some positives. Those goals were quality.
Yeah.
Like we played.
And we're scoring like.
We're scoring
generally
loads of goals.
Loads of goals, good goals.
Good goals. We're playing great football. Like some of the football I've seen us play this year, obviously this is going to sound contradictory after what we've just spoken about, but some of the football I've seen us play is like I've been watching Burgess Hill for like over 10 years, like on and off is fair to say, but that's some of the best football I've seen us play has been in the recent games. Like some of our passing moves, some of the build-ups to goals,
It's
just
why
the
it's
quality
so
of
frustrating
finishing.
that
Absolutely.
we don't get what we deserve sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the players and the staff put high expectations on themselves, and I think rightly so. And I think they deserve more than they've got, but partly that's on them. Like we've got to close these games out.
I certainly think we've left points out there.
Without a shadow
should have done for sure. But this is perhaps a learning curve for some of the players. I know most of them have played this in Prem before, but you have to go to the end of the game, and you've got to really be clinical when you're on top. But it's just defensively, like we just have to. Yeah, you just have to just try a little bit more oomph about us, just a little bit more sort of rock solid. Just get out to that man, stop the cross, make sure you get your first head onto that ball.
Look like you want it.
Just throw yourself about a bit. That's if you do that and the ball flies in, fine.
If you're on the pitch for 90 minutes, if you're on the pitch for 90 minutes, play for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's
give it everything.
That's the thing. That's the thing, because we play so well for large quantities, and then it seems to just be letting us down at the end, which. It is football. It happens. I'm sure
we'll bounce back. We
will bounce back. Like you said, there is plenty of positives.
And the positives do outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, I'll be a hell of a lot more worried if we were not scoring goals and losing 3-4-0 every week.
Yeah, we're in every game.
Getting outplayed.
Like even the games that we've unfortunately lost, we're in every game.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit of an understatement. Like we were on top every game, should have won a lot of the games.
Yeah.
Like it's there.
Really, it's just Brentwood and Folkestone, and funnily enough, those are first and second in the league at the moment.
Yeah, true.
So the Lewis one that we've discussed, that was
we don't talk about Lewis.
That was a really poor second half, and obviously yesterday was obviously not ideal either. But
no.
We always have a chance to bounce back. Yeah, like I say, no game Saturday, so it's Dartford away for the chaps to bounce back.
We do me a Saturday off football. We go ground hopping.
You won't believe it if I told you.
Go on.
Moulin Rouge the musical.
Ah, nice.
My mother's birthday present.
Ah, nice. Yeah, what a good man you are.
Yes, I've got a soft spot for like the West End and theatre and shows and stuff like that, which nobody probably knows.
I must admit, I'm the same.
Moulin Rouge is probably not my chosen one, but I've actually, short story, my friend is in Moulin Rouge the musical. He's a West End actor.
Oh, nice.
He was
Brushing shoulders with the stars.
Yeah, so we like to go and sort of follow his shows that he's in, just watch him perform, basically, family friend. So,
oh, nice.
I'll be spending my Saturday in London, but in the theatre instead of in football.
Nice.
So very
nice.
How posh of me.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen a few. I've seen Wicked a couple of times.
Yeah, he was in that.
Good. Oh, nice.
Cursed
Child I saw recently.
He was the understudy for Fierro.
Oh, nice.
And he played Fierro as the main part quite a few times, so that was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, shout out Fraser. But well.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
You're off as well.
I'm sure I've got something in my diary, because I've got something in my diary every day this week.
Yeah.
But I know I'm at the club Sunday for the women's game.
Yes.
Home to Worthing. Someone just told me in Tesco, of all places, that's now been pushed back to a 3 p.m. kickoff.
I am none the wiser, but I'm sure we can confirm.
So we will confirm that. Keep an eye on the website.
If you've not heard from Tom Klingo, I would question it. But
but the other source, for anonymity reasons, which I'm really nameless, is fairly reliable. So,
okay, well that's probably a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Just for it was just some scheduling conflicts, referee availability, blah 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 blah.
Fair enough.
So I believe the women's game is now being pushed to 3 p.m. But if you just get to the ground for 1, even if it is 2, you're still going to see it. So they're at home to Worthing.
And the under-18s are also in action next week. They slightly annoying to me, and I probably know why, but they are also playing Tuesday night when the first team are playing. I just presume our under-18s have now, their slot is Tuesday night, because it used to be Thursday. It is slightly frustrating that it's on the same day, just because, I'm sure a lot of people would want to see both games, but we're at home Tuesday night, the under-18s, big FA Youth Cup game, Kingstonian. So if you
Yeah, that's
unfortunately
big.
can't make it to Dartford, or don't fancy the trip up to Dartford, then there is some home comforts for you. Yep, Tuesday 30th, Kingstonian at home in the FA Youth Cup.
What time's kick-off for that?
7:45. 7:45. Yeah.
I've got a pool match at 7, but I'm playing a very, very good player, so he probably would have beaten me by then. So I should be able to make that.
Good.
Yeah, I should be able to make that.
But yeah. I mean, I think that just about covers all the bases, really,
Yeah.
in
Let's
terms of.
end on like definitely really positives though.
Oh yeah, look,
Two home games now. What's your sort of favourite new thing at the club in the? And someone pointed out to me the other day. The old club, I don't know if we can call it that now. It's like fantastic. It was still amazing.
Yeah.
And like we joke about pitch inspections and all that. Like the old pitch was fantastic. The staff and the volunteers did incredibly well. Loved it. But yeah, we're just excited about the new one.
This is just an upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your favourite thing so far?
Well, I do have a soft spot for the scoreboards, which is pretty obvious. Obviously, the biggest flashes.
Bit bright, isn't
it? It is a bit bright. Yeah, it is a bit bright. This is true.
Sorry, whoever you are who tweeted us, we'll sort it.
But I do like it. But
I love it.
I also do like the new bongo bar in the corner for a couple of reasons. Obviously, it's a new bar which has alcohol, which is a win for everyone.
Big tick, I'm in.
Exactly. But I just think it's well needed as well. Like it stops in massive queues on the bar.
Yeah.
It's perfectly placed, I think, in terms of footfall, in terms of the people where people are going.
Yep.
It's not like the other end of the ground. You've got to walk all the way down there and etc. It's by the food, so you think, get some food. Oh,
I know. I'm going to start trying to
with my food.
I want Retail Row to happen. I was naming it Retail Row. Got
Wow.
bar, food outlet bar.
Niche Fortnite reference.
Yeah. Thank you.
No,
I'm glad you picked up on that.
No, I'm good. No, but yeah. So and I can't remember the name of the lager now. Oh, the Festival Lager. That's it. Festival Lager from the Bongo Bar. Go and check it out if you're at a Hill game.
Ooh, I haven't had that yet.
Yeah,
maybe I'll treat myself to a game.
Very good.
A game. Pint on Sunday.
Yeah, Festival. I recommend Bongo's Bar. So that would be my favourite edition. Bongo's Bar.
Yeah. No. I'm a big fan as well. Actually. Yeah. I think I'm the same. To be fair, I think that's really cool. I love the scoreboard, as you know. Saying my new favourite thing is the pitch is a bit of a cop out.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it.
But no, the only reason, but I'll caveat it by saying for a reason that is not obvious. Just because I don't have to worry about wearing wellies or anything when I walk on when it's muddy. I could just always wear my correct footwear, but comfortable footwear, because I hate wearing things like that because obviously the main playing surface of the pitch was always brilliant, even if it had been raining. They did a great, fantastic job on that. Yeah. But obviously the bits where I sit and the edges are always sometimes not as great. So I was, and I hate wearing wellies. I don't know why. It's just a thing.
I don't like wearing wellies either.
Yeah, so now I'm a huge fan of that, but that's a bit of a cop out saying the pitch. So, but yeah, no, the Bongo Bar's fantastic. The screen's fantastic.
Basically, if you haven't come down to the club yet for whatever reason,
what are you doing?
The new facilities, come on down. Sundays for the
missing
women's,
out.
Tuesday night for the under 18s, the men's games. You can find them on the website. The fixtures. 4th October is the next men's home game in the FA Trophy. So and if that's a draw, it goes to penalties. So that's my last rallying cry to people. You might see a penalty shootout if we draw. Hopefully we win, but just in case.
That's how we like on penalties. I don't think I've seen him face a penalty.
Not sure. I know we're brilliant at penalties.
We are very good at penalties.
I can remember a brilliant. Well, I say we're brilliant on penalties. It was the worst penalty shootout of all time.
Martin's really good at penalties, but no, sorry.
And that's we can't have Martin slander now because he scored 3 and 3.
No, that's true. He has.
It was funny while it lasted, but Martin is.
No, he's done. I like
Martin is playing very, very well.
He's playing very, very good football.
So fair play, Martin.
It's the new pink boots.
There you go. Yeah, it is the new.
No,
was he offside yesterday? I mean,
no,
he wasn't technically. Obviously,
because he wasn't given. But no, I've got in the gallery one of my photos.
We've got evidence, guys.
Yeah, It's not as he's received the ball, but I think it's a frame or two after he's received the ball.
Right.
And I don't understand how he would be offside based on his position there.
Okay.
So I think no. I think it's fine. And it was a good finish.
There you
go.
Good
finish.
It was a very good finish. It did look offside at the time, but to be fair, the liner was totally adamant it wasn't offside.
No, and actually,
he was in line. He saw it.
Actually, I had because obviously I sit in the corner, that corner with and we've had that lino before. Sorry, I don't know his name, but really, really nice guy. He really communicates.
I can find his name in about 5 seconds for you if you want.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Just while you continue talking about
Yeah,
Lynden.
no, he was really cool. Like, and he said straight away, he was like I probably got the number wrong, but he was like straight away, he was like number 5, you're playing him on. Like he was adamant
John
Pike, shout out. You know, I thought he was a good lino.
Yeah.
One of my favourite things to do is bash refs and officials.
Oh yeah, no,
But,
it's a common thing on non-league.
Yeah, but no, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, to be fair, Adrian Harris was the ref yesterday, and he's sort of well known in Sussex and Burgess Hill just because he's a
Yeah, I recognise him.
bit of a ref veteran. He's probably ref Burgess Hill, God knows how many times. You know, he's had his good and bad performances as every ref's had at Burgess Hill, but I thought yesterday was pretty good, to be honest. And that's considering we lost, so I can't, can't just say, we won, so we're biased.
Well, as much as we'd love to blame you, Adrian, I think you were fine.
There was no yellow cards either in the game. Which
No, there wasn't.
There
was a corner for goalkeeper holding it for 10 seconds, though.
Oh,
I haven't seen that in a while.
blimey,
Well, I haven't seen that at all.
was-
That's
that
the first
was
time
one
I've
of
seen
the
it.
best things. That might be the new thing about the ground, corners. Slightly harsh, I would probably say.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was a bit harsh, but
you know.
well.
Cheers, Adrian.
yeah, we'll take it. Shame we couldn't.
We almost scored from it as well.
Shame we couldn't do more with it.
That would have been exceptional content.
Oh, it would have been so good.
But
Absolute clip farming. But
There we go. Wow,
40 minutes sounds about right.
sounds about right. I don't think it has, but I hope this podcast hasn't come across as a big moan up at anybody.
No, because it
It's-
certainly isn't.
You know,
like,
it certainly isn't.
we're still behind the guys. We're still behind Gary and Jay.
At the end of the day, people have to realise we are fundamentally fans. We're just giving our views on what we've seen so far.
We just want to see
Um,
wins.
We just want to see wins.
Just want to drown in those 3 points.
We will get things wrong, but we're just honest. This is how we see it.
I think we get everything wrong.
We get everything wrong fundamentally, but
Yeah.
you know, our support never wanes. We'll be there at Dartford, and yeah,
I mean, I won't.
I'll be there at Dartford.
Thank you.
Don't worry. And yeah, on to the next one.
On
Things,
to the next.
yeah,
We will have a guest for you hopefully next time.
Oh, yeah.
Yet to be
In the
announced, but
works.
we've got 2 or 3. But we actually have a list. People want to be on the podcast now.
Whoever-
Why I don't know, because they have to talk to us.
whoever likes us after this podcast.
Yeah, true. Actually, that list might change.
Oh,
But no. So we
joking, guys.
we know that you don't always want to just hear me and Jack. So we will have some guests. We've got some guests lined up. Hopefully, so
Coming your way soon.
Coming your way soon. But
I
guess
think
we'll leave it there.
I think that's goodbye from me.
Goodbye, me. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, all those YouTube things.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
And take care, guys.